Hey, hi, I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat. So I was just feeding the dogs, and I was listening to some guy. There's a guy I like to listen to. He's so funny. I don't know if he's a comedian or if he's just on there just talking shit, but supposedly he's a comedian, so he's funny though. He's funny. And so I was listening to him, and then it made me think about the guy down the road, the Allen guy who came, who was all, hey, what's up? And I'm not really into that guy, but whatever. I'm cordial to people. And so, unless I'm angry, then I have an angry voice. But anyways, so I was listening to that guy, and it reminded me of this guy over here. This guy over here, when I met him, he was really flaunting a lot of things. Yeah. Because he has one of those white van type things. He's really flaunting a lot and talking real high and mighty of himself. And when I was talking to him when he was right here, the politics came up because I want to know who is who. I don't want to hang out with no MAGAs, okay? So, I was talking to him, and I told him, that there were some. I was trying to give him a heads up. Actually, I said, "Hey, there's some weirdos over there. Some MAGAs right there. They're hanging out with the local tweakers and stuff, and they're scoping out my stuff. So I told him, just be careful. That's all, because he's been robbed on this beach before. So, but that's because he's a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, so he invited a woman and a child in his van, and she ended up robbing him. It was weird. Anyways, so I was talking, and I'm like, well, I go, he's all, yeah, I don't agree with either side. I go, oh, so you're an independent? He's all, yeah. And I go, oh, but you know what, though? He is not agreeing with any of the pedophile stuff. And remember, I told you that he invited a woman and her child in his van, and then they shut the door. This was one time that I was next to him, and that happened. Yeah. And then she ended up leaving, and then he figured out that he got robbed, and I was like, oh, probably because he was trying to do something with the kid, or I don't know, man. But you know what? I've come to the conclusion is I tend to think that a lot of people out here, even the MAGAs who are switching over, because they're saying now that they're independent. I don't trust them. I know there's MAGAs around. I know they're all MAGAs right here. I don't trust any of them. And I think that guy, I think that's what happened. I think he's actually a MAGA, but he's trying to say he's independent. I think he's a MAGA because he's trying to make Trump look like he didn't do anything. And he's like, oh, it's all propaganda. So the whole world is the propaganda. I'm telling you, it's I haven't talked to him since. He's weird, and plus he knows I like to keep to myself anyways, because that's what I do. I like to keep to myself. I will help the way I help people. So I'll be walking, and if I see somebody and like something's not going right, I won't just rush up to them. No, I'll kind of look and see what's going on, and walk my dog, come back. That's how I found that chick, because I seen her there. I seen her the first time that they all showed up. She showed up with a group, and the next thing you know, she's there by herself. And I seen her like that for like 2 days, and I was like, something's not right here. And so that's why I was like, are you okay? You know what I mean? And then that's how it started. And this guy, when he used to be like, oh yeah, flaunting everything or whatever, he told me he's flat broke right now. And you know what else he told me? He told me, oh, disability's screwing me over. No, Trump is screwing you over. That's what's going on. Trump is screwing you over. Yeah. Telling you, delusional. And he knows that I be helping people out here, but I ain't helping him. I am not helping him. I helped him enough in the past. I help people to a certain extent, but I never help anybody who asks me for help. I offer it if I see that it's true and it's real. Because I won't, like when I talked to that chick, I didn't offer her anything. I was just like, are you okay? You know, and I found out what's going on. And if it's something that I evaluate that I feel like, all right, I'm gonna help this person, then I will do it. But when it's like that, but I will still be cordial, because at least he's being cordial. I'm just not gonna talk about politics anymore, because I know he's a MAGA. He already knows me, but I'm probably not gonna really chit-chat it up with him at all, really, because he's got his own stuff going on, you know. I warned him about the tweakers, and he knows that I'm a pretty private person, so he probably won't say anything to me, which I prefer, I hope. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Just a little reflection on some stuff. And you know, me, I don't like to look like I got everything. You know, I don't feel like getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? I got these 2 dogs and I got myself. I'm not gonna go out and buy lavish stuff for, I mean, I don't need it. This is, everything in here is perfect, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm actually proud of this trailer, that I put it together like this myself. I'm really proud of it, you know, because I did it myself. And, you know, when you talk to people on the road, or I have spoken to people on the road, they tell me, you know, like, because I will show them and they're like, oh my God, when they see it. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like a bedroom in here, you know what I mean? They have smaller apartments for rent in freaking Japan. Anyways, they're like, wow. And I say, yeah, you know, I have everything I need, you know. I said, I don't want to get anything big, bad, and fancy, because I don't want to be a target for like tweakers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whatever. This jackery even, it's like brand new. I don't really, I have other things that I can use, but it does make life convenient. But like, for like 5 years, or for, no, not 5 years, for like 3 years, I didn't even have a power source. You know, I kept trying to buy like generators, but they kept breaking. So it's just like, fuck it, I don't need a generator anymore. I don't need it. So I just, you know, got stuff like fairy lights. Like, I have fairy lights in here, and I have candles, and, you know, like, you know, I don't need. And I feel comfortable here. And you know what? The trailer is a very stable, strong trailer. So that's another thing somebody told me, that, you know, yeah, they're strong. Somebody with an actual like big RV that they're pulling are like, yeah, those things are strong, because the RVs are like kind of flimsy walled, and you could feel the wind, and it's real windy today too. I mean, I could feel it here too. I don't know what the difference is, because I haven't been into a trailer to hear or to see that, but that's what this person told me, this guy at Padre Island that I met. And you know, he's all, yeah, and those trailers, they don't lose value, because, yeah, and he's right. If I were to sell this, which I don't know that I will, but if I were to sell this, I can just unscrew everything in here and make it back into a regular trailer, you know. But I wouldn't. If I were to give it away, or to sell it or something, because I gave away my last trailer, I just gave it to somebody. But like, if I were to do that, I would just show them like this, and I'll say, okay, this is included, but if you don't want it, as you can see, you can just unscrew everything and put it away. Or you can even just unscrew everything, put all this stuff in the garage, and still use the trailer as, you know, whatever people using closed trailers for. And then if you ever want to go camping, you just come back in here, you can screw everything back together, and you have a little camping trailer too. So yeah, you know. But I like the trailer so much, you know. It's really strong and sturdy, and I kind of, the doors I don't really like that much, but you know what, I might even just leave it and just not even bother with it, because you know what, the uglier it looks, the less likely anybody gonna come here and bother me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have, really. Just wanted to chit chat, because I was thinking about that stuff, and it's so funny how, you know, you watch all this stuff on YouTube about how kind of the people are, and it's really hilarious. But I mean, I never think that I'm gonna meet these people out here, but I do. I really do. They are out here, and you know what, a lot of them are gonna claim to be independents. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. You will be able to figure it out anyways. So like I did. Anyways, that's all I have. Hi Mona, Sacred Geometry Universe. Oh, this was Chit Chat, right? Yeah. Chit Chat. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.